Hey guys, welcome back to an episode of Fran Presents the Play Call. Tonight we're a little short-handed, but hopefully we'll get some more company here soon. But I'm here with Nikki. Nikki, how you doing?
I'm blessed and highly favored.
Yes, the best. Well, I'm sitting here, got a lot to do before I got to go to bed and wake up at 3. So,
well, how you doing?
I'm tired. I'm so tired. I don't know why, but I'm super, super tired, extremely tired. So, well, let's get to it. I mean, at the end of the day, this is what we're here to do. Let's record. You're gonna do the recaps.
I got it.
All right, well, let's do it. Come on.
So on Thursday night, the Bears and the Commanders faced off, and the Commanders came out on top with 12 points, while the Bears got 7. Then Sunday, the Ravens played the Giants, with the Giants winning 24-20. The Jags played the Colts, with the Colts winning 34-27. The Patriots played the Browns, with the Patriots coming out on top with 38-15. The Bengals saw the Saints, with the Bengals coming up on top with 30-26. The Buccaneers went down to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers and came home with a dud. Steelers won 20-18. 49ers and the Falcons. The Falcons won 28-14. It's another one. I think the Packers went to the Jets' house, and the Jets held the title. Or was the other way? The Jets went to the Packers.
They went to Lambeau.
Oh Lord! And Jets 27 to Packers 10. Falcons against Dolphins. Falcons win 24-16. Panthers against the Rams. The Rams pulled out the win 24-10. Seahawks against Cardinals. Seahawks won 19-9. This was a game that we all been waiting for. A rematch between the Bills and the Chiefs. And the Bills won 24-20. Sunday night, oh Lord. Eagles against the Cowboys, and Eagles is 6-0 because they won that game 26-17. And then Monday night, Broncos against the Chargers, and the Chargers came out with the victory 19-16. Well, with our weekly pick'ems.
Yes.
I even actually really graded Ben too. So Frank, myself, Bree, and Ben tied with 8 correct predictions, while June pulled in 7 correct. June is still in the lead. Obviously, like, June's gonna have to lose a lot where people win a lot for people to beat June. However, the gap is closing. June has predicted 61 correct games, while Frank comes in second with 57 correct. I'm trailing right behind him with 56, and then Bree is in at 52. So even though June is leading, the gap is closing in.
So, I mean, listen, this season has been anything short of predictable. There's some games we pick and we're like, oh, they're definitely going to win, i.e. Bucks and Steelers, and the Bucks lose. You know, there's so many teams that surprise other teams, and you're like, wow. And the only team that seems not to be fazed by the predictability is the Eagles, because they're, atop the NFL with a perfect record so far going into it.
I have a question, but June ain't on here, but I'm gonna ask anyway.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm gonna give you my takeaway from this week, and you know, we so y'all for America that don't know, we FaceTime during the games. We'll Zoom, we'll FaceTime, we'll watch these games together, like nonstop, and our reactions to the games are similar, sometimes different. And I was having a little bit of burn my biscuit episode this weekend because I felt that the play calling was horrendous in some plays, and on top of that, there's not consistency in the NFL with play calling, and some teams don't have situational football. I feel that teams are not playing, they're not coaching right, they're not playing right. And I'm gonna give you an example. Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh got their practice squad in defense. They're not even playing their starters. They're out. They're hurt. You would think it's a makeup game, a little quick game against a soft defense, and Tom Brady should at least find some consistency. On I think 3 drives of 3rd and 1, they rush the ball and get stuffed every time. Situational football, people. When you're gonna realize that if it didn't work the first time, it didn't work the second time, why are you gonna try the 3rd or 4th time? Play action, pass it, do something, get creative.
Well, do you think that people feel like, all we need is that one breakthrough, and then we'll have them on their heels. And sometimes, so you know what, I don't want to say I just realized this. I'm sorry for cutting you off if I did that. I don't want to say I just realized this, but it's easy on the other side where we can judge, because I'll give you an example, right? You know how I said a couple of weeks ago, why did we get away from the run game?
Mm-hmm.
You see some teams that will constantly go to the run game. It's like, bro, throw the ball. They're eating you up at the line all the damn time. Like, throw the ball. Stop fucking running the ball. Excuse my language. Throw the ball. But then when a team, let's say, for example, throw the ball, be like, bro, why did you throw the ball? It was nobody open. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I know sometimes these teams might feel like, they're always in a lose-lose situation. Now, I don't think that was the case for the Buccaneers because, like you said, Steelers really didn't have anybody on the field. But I ask you this question. When you put somebody on the field that we're not used to seeing, you don't know how that person plays. Your number one will always be your number one, right? Mm-hmm. Typically, your number two can be far off from the number one, or it could just be a good, a solid number two, but your number one just has that little bit of edge. I don't know how your number two really plays, or I don't know how your number three really plays, right? So I'm like, oh, I got this easy.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because I'm your number one hitter in here to hit. But then number three shows up, and you be like, wait, I don't even know. You know what I mean?
So, well, going back to what I was saying, that was just an example. I think there was a lot of games that we saw that situational football should have came into play. One drive with the Eagles and Cowboys, you was running the ball down their throat with Pollard and Zeke, and you put up 7 points. You cut the lead. They scored 20 points. You went on and scored 17 unanswered points. And instead of going back to what you had to do the next drive, no, you didn't. You went to passing the ball. A situational football. You forced the quarterback that doesn't have the arm strength to get the ball downfield, and you start making them pass the ball.
Well, I think a lot of their success, though, was on that bootleg, where they wanted to hand it off as a run, and he'll turn around and throw the ball. So, okay, because that was the question I wanted to ask. You done with what you were saying? Because I don't disagree with what you're saying. I just think it's fun, and like, sometimes you're like, hey, why don't you? And then sometimes I think I could realize now, because now I know they like, hey, why didn't we just continue with this? Because it sounds,
So what I'm trying to get at is, me and you've talked about this plenty of times, and especially with your team, my team, whatever. And we say, man, they could have won that game. And, obviously when we lose it, we don't have a leg to stand on because the could have, should have, would have didn't do it. Right. So it is what it is. But when I watched some of these games this weekend, and I watched the Patriots play the Browns, I watched the Bucks at the Steelers, I watched the Dolphins,
Cowboys.
the Cowboys. I didn't watch. I watched the half, the third, and on. By that
Oh,
time, yeah, the demise was over. But I
yeah.
watched the Bills
Chiefs.
and Chiefs game, and I saw great coaching on that team, on that game, because I thought it was going to be a shootout. It turned into a kind of tight game where it came down to one player making mistakes more than the other. And I feel they played great situational football. Now, thinking about when we talk about it, I think our teams, when they fall, they don't play great situational football.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
It's understanding what you're playing and who you're playing. You had a great point. Film does a lot for a person. Trevor Lawrence, first year, there was no film. Second year, there's film. Mac Jones, no film. Now there's film. He's hurt. Zappy comes in. He wins 2 games as a starter. And you think, wow, is he better than Mac Jones? Or is it that the teams don't know what to expect from him?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He can go out there and try different things. So yeah, I agree that when they don't know what your tendencies are, it's harder. My issue with the Bucks, for example, their defense is better than that. They had all their starters in there. They had all their starters.
No, the Steelers had no business winning against the Bucks.
But they won. So it is what it is. So now to answer, I would like to. So I'm done with that. I just feel that situational football, if you play it, and that's one thing I like about Belichick. He knows how to play situational football. He trains to that. He also teaches his players the rule book, so you know what to do in certain situations. Because if you don't know, you're gonna do it, and you can't argue it. You know what I'm saying? But what's your question?
Mine was more about the Eagle and the Bucks. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah.
You gotta be honest with yourself. Eagles ain't great.
Well,
hold on.
I'll play devil's advocate. Go ahead.
Hold on. Eagles is a solid first half team. Second half, if they compete with a team that can pick up or typically picks up in the second half, Eagles would have had their first loss already. I want to believe that if Dak was playing, or that was my question, if Dak was playing, do you think the Cowboys could have won?
So I think if Dak was playing, it would have been a different
play call on the Eagles side.
Yes, and on the Cowboys.
Yeah, most definitely. Definitely on the Cowboys.
The issue is that what's happening is with the Eagles is, and this is not a knock on them. Listen, they're 6-0. I applaud
most definitely.
That fact. Listen, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they're playing complementary football. That's what's happening. They're playing good defense. Jalen Hurts really ain't turning the ball over. He's doing enough. They're doing enough to win, and special teams is working. So all 3 phases working, right?
I don't agree. I agree, but I disagree.
So I told June this. I said, I feel that what they do is they put up a lot of points in one quarter.
Correct.
And the defense goes and plays. Now, an Eagle fan could say, well, he's rebutting your argument because he went and scored 7 points after they came up within 17-20, which came off of the turnovers from, he got the ball back 3 times or 2 more times in the fourth quarter based on turnovers from Cooper Rush.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 interceptions.
Yeah. So now my thing is, and my question is, if he didn't get those turnovers, would they have scored 3 points here, 7 points there?
You don't know.
I don't know. So I do think they're a well-rounded team. They say they got the best defense in the league. They say they got the best corners in the league. They say that their offensive line is winning. And
I believe that.
I just don't. With Jalen Hurts, I'm not sold on him 100%. That's what it is. And I feel that when it comes to a team like, let's say Buffalo, let's say they had to meet Buffalo in the Super Bowl or anyway, and you got a team like Buffalo that can match up, can play, can run, can throw. I mean, Buffalo's run game isn't the greatest, but because their quarterback can run and he's a big body, he ain't scared. You have to protect that.
He can fly.
Yeah.
He's been flying.
So
I only say this, and this is no shot. This is actually me. At least 3 of the Eagles win that I paid attention to. They won on turnovers. It was that close. They could have tied with the Cardinals. The Cardinals had that little the field goal. It would have been a tie. They win the overtime. They beat us by what, 6 or whatever, 8.
It was
Had
8
we,
points.
yep, had we not turned over 4 or 5 times, it would have been a different story. They won the Cowboys by 9 with 3 turnovers. So, and that might be good on them because they're capitalizing on mistakes. But I'm just saying, for someone to sit on their high horse and say they're good, that good, and they've only been winning on um one possession or 1 point. You know what I'm saying? Like
One score,
one
one
touchdown,
score,
one scored.
2 scores. Yeah,
How great! And most teams, and it could go both ways, right? Most teams with injury can decline, but most teams typically teams improve as the year uh
go by
progress,
progresses. Yes.
right? So, and I'm not saying that they can't improve, but everybody in a sense is trying to improve. Will this one score lead hold them up? Because most of the time the one score lead is because of what they did in the first half. It's not because of the
Right.
second half. You get what I'm saying?
I mean,
You have teams that you can shut them 27-20, and they could still come back and beat you at the end of the day, you know? Let's be honest, Cowboy was knocking on the door. They had 20-3 at one point, and then it became 20-17. You get what I'm
that's
saying?
the question where you say if Dak was there, would have been different. And we can argue, yes, we unfortunately we will never know. But we know they got it.
Well, you can't. Well, you. The thing is this: you can know. However, you can't know. You can't really say it with their current team. You get what I'm saying? Because last year, Dak shut them out. They had Dak all year,
Yeah.
but it wasn't the same people.
No, it was not. The defense was different.
So,
But all off season, every time June would add who they got, I would say, look, they're smart. They're building their defense up to help the offense.
right.
It's not that much pressure on the offense. What I like about what the Eagles done or did, let's take this past Sunday, for example. 17-20, the momentum was shifting to the Cowboys, you could think, because they came back and they were within 3 points.
Yeah.
And when they got the turnover, Jalen put up another 7 points when it mattered. And that's what you want. That's what you want. That's something that I think Brady's struggling with Tampa. That's what the Green Bay Packers are struggling with. Even if their defense holds up, hell, the Broncos, their defense, holding people to certain points, but then Russell's not cooking to get the points out. So, to me, it's one of those things where it's like, I give them credit because in my opinion, they're doing enough to win and they're playing all 3 phases. I don't think they're the number 1 power ranked team in the league. I get it, they're 6-0, but what I saw in Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs was amazing. In that game, remember when they played Tampa, Tampa did this. Devin White went at kind of dove at Patrick. Patrick got out, threw the ball in the end zone. The coverage was blown. They scored a touchdown. Was Edward St. Hilaire. He tried the same thing with the Bills. The Bills attacked. They didn't dive at him. They rushed him. He threw the ball up and it was picked off in the end zone. Then they in the last drive or whatever, last quarter to seal the game was another pick.
Another pick.
And this was good defense. This was defense playing their part. Now, they blitz Allen. Allen was like 7 of something with the blitz, but he got 2 touchdowns off the blitz. So did the blitz really work? When they were playing zone and they would just let him sit back there and try to pick, he was picking them apart. So I mean, to me that's complimentary. That's great. They we can talk about all that all day, but I'm gonna give the Eagles credit. 6-0 is not easy in the NFL. But last year the Steelers went. Last year, the year before, went 11-0 and then lost the last remaining game and got bumped in the playoffs. So
last year, the year before, it was the Cardinals 10-0. So that's why I hold very loose and say it's not that easy because team has done it, and at the end of the day, came out with not even making it too far past
I think
whatever.
it's not easy because not every team does it.
Yeah, yeah,
And
not
I
everything.
think schedules matter. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Schedules matter. So now another game, the Giants against the Ravens. Giants went out there and beat the Ravens in a close game. Lamar had a chance to drive the ball down and win the game, and he threw an interception. So, what's your take on that? I mean, I know you didn't watch the game. I didn't watch the game either, but we know the results. We know what happened. Is it are the Giants for real, or are the Ravens just really struggling?
So see, I don't know how to answer that one because I want to say I don't know, Frank. I don't want to say the Giants isn't real, but I also don't want to say they're real. And I don't want to say that the Ravens isn't struggling. The reason why I say that is Ravens need to come on.
I can. So here's what I'm gonna say. It's how I'm gonna answer it.
And I say this. If you look at most, but a win is a win. A win is a win. The Giants win by little.
Mm-hmm.
3 points here, a point. So the Giants, the only thing I like about that is they are like, it's not over till it's over. I don't care if we win by a field goal. It ain't over till it's over. So that's a team that is hungry,
That's a dangerous team.
right? And then the Ravens keep losing by a little.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say the opposite of the Ravens, like, hey, the game ain't over till it's over.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Like, why the Giants is like, y'all don't give up, don't give in. The game ain't over. They like, we winning, it ain't over.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't want to say. You could probably say a little bit. Maybe the Giants just finding a way, just to hold on, just to hold on. And then the Ravens, they throwing. I don't want to say throwing the towel, but I don't know. Think that, hey, we done. Like we got it. You know what I'm saying? And because it's not like they're getting blown out anyway either. You know what I'm saying? Like I know they've had leads or whatever, but it's not like they were leading 20 and then at the end of the game the other team got 56. It's like what the hell?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
got blown. It's not like that. So I don't know. I don't even know if I would say like I cannot say, but I don't know if I would say that. Hey, that's a little bit of scariness. Like
yeah,
Ravens, come on, like the Giants. I applaud them. I applaud them because nobody was ever counting them in. Let's be honest. Nobody's ever counting them in. So they are playing dangerous. Like, people already kind of threw us away. They washed their hands with us, but we still find a way for people to be like, oh, wow, look, out of 16 games, the Giants won this one. Out of this,
mm-hmm.
32 teams that played this week, the Giants won that one.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I mean, so here's what I'm gonna say about that. This is how I see it, and I could be wrong. Um, I think the Giants. It's not that the Giants are serious. I think the team as a whole, the culture is serious. That's what I want to say about that. I think that Brian Dable went there and he turned that culture around. I have another question to follow up with that once I'm done. And I think the Ravens are struggling. I think the Ravens are struggling to close games out. The Ravens easily could be 5-1 right now, or even 6-0 if they would have just played better football, protected the ball. And I think that the defense is coming up short in some aspects. And Lamar, when he tries to do too much, it just like you get an interception. And he's been playing great football though. His numbers have been great. So I just think that they're struggling to close games. I'm not saying struggling like
right, right.
struggling to close games. And I think the Giants culture has shifted to where that's a full team now. They're playing great football together. I mean, they're winning. They're 5-1. Some of the games that they shouldn't win, they're winning. We always talk about that. The teams that I'm not gonna be mad at you when you beat, like, if let's say the Bucks would have beat the Steelers, we'd be like, okay, they beat the Steelers. We celebrate the Steelers being the Bucks more because that's a team they shouldn't have beat, and they beat them. When you beat the teams that are sorry, that's what you're supposed to do. Now, when you beat the teams that are supposed to be great, that's when you get acknowledged. That's why I said they're playing good football. I don't think they're gonna go all the way. You got the Eagles there. We don't know what the Cowboys gonna look like when Dak comes back. So at the end of the
But she
day,
comes back this week.
yeah. So at the end of the day, we can have a shift in the paradigm here soon for the next 2 or 3 weeks. So I don't know. That's what I would say about that. But let me ask you a question now. Was Daniel Jones the problem in New York, or was it the coaching?
I didn't watch Daniel play, and I don't really even know who besides Barkley who's on the team.
And that's the point. They have Galladay. He hasn't done anything, but that's the whole point behind it. Is that now they don't have Odell. Shepard's hurt. They lost Ingram to you guys, and Saquon's playing great football and they're winning. So, and this is the same quarterback under center. Nothing's changed on the team except the coaching.
Well, Saquon was been hurt. This is first year where he's back to being old Saquon, even probably better Saquon. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sometimes, let's be honest, we've said this too. We need that glue in the team sometimes that have to put the team on their back. And let's be honest, most of their wins is because Saquon he showed up when we needed you to show up. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
is it that the glue is finally back and intact?
That's a good question.
You get what I'm saying?
I mean, that's
or can it be a little bit of both?
Well, the run game is something important, we when you have that run game like that, you need to what's what I'm looking for? It helps the team out. It helps your team win, and because it takes the pressure away from the quarterback having to do so much. So yes, I think Saquon being back to being Saquon a little bit is helping out.
Right.
I think that is also coaching. It goes back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Could it be a little bit of both? Because
yeah, I think so. What else? What do you think with your team? What's some of the takeaways from your team? I mean, we didn't really talk about it, but
so I didn't really watch the game, but 17 seconds, really? Defense. Because Trevor had a phenomenal game.
He did.
Wasn't it 20 completion for 22 attempts?
Yeah, it was something like that. His numbers wasn't that bad. Yeah.
I'm not pulling it out. Y'all over here letting Matt Ryan, 20 for 22 attempts. What else do you want from the boy?
True.
Because he played like shit the 2 games prior, especially the one against the Eagles. So, I mean, our defense, and they, it's just sometimes so frustrating because I think it's extra hard when you know there's potential, when you see the potential, but it doesn't materialize when it counts. You know what I'm saying? For us to shut down the Colts, to losing to them. Now, I know people are going to say divisional games are difficult. And to be transparent, the last few years since 2017, I think we've always lost when we've gone down to Indy. And Indy has lost since 2014, actually, when they come down to Jax. But I don't know. It's just frustrating when you see, like, for example, we lost to the Eagles, but we had 4 turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Or 4 or 5 turnovers, and then you lose. Then you like, what do you expect? How the hell do you expect to win? But then this time he got 20 completion out of 22. You like, how the hell didn't he win? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it's just a little frustrating because we played defense played well that game against the Eagles. They played better, and then for us to
I think again, it's sometimes it's matchups, but I think it's just it comes down to situational football because again,
no, most definitely
you look at the stats of the
because
quarterback, he didn't lose you the game,
we got 2 PIs on defense, uh, unsportsmanlike on defense, like penalties.
and that's one thing I wanted to talk about, and not to go about because it's not the Jags, but I watched oh man, the game I was watching, and they pushed the quarterback down, and they threw the pass interference. He didn't even tackle him; he just pushed him,
No,
and the guy fell down, and they threw the flag, which gave him another fresh first downs. But then I'm watching the Jets play, and they slam Zach down, and they don't throw the flag. The same exact play that they happened to Brady the week before that they threw the flag, the same play now, and they didn't throw the flag. So that's why I said at the beginning, it got to be consistency somewhere because you can't call pass interference in one end, and then when it happens again, the same exact thing, you don't do it the other end. You're hurting the game that way. You know what I'm saying? You're really hurting the game that way. And again, going back to situational football, there were some plays there in some teams where they could have challenged the call and it wasn't a catch and they didn't do it. And then they go on to score on that drive when you could have probably ended the drive by challenging the call.
mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's one of those things that I feel, teams, again, it goes back to coaching and situational football, understanding the game. And maybe Doug Peterson's been out for a while. He has to get his mind right to get back to normal. But, when you're a Super Bowl winning coach and you clearly change the environment and the culture because your guys' record is better now than it was last year at this time. You know,
Yes, it is better, but we only got 2 wins. I think for the season we had 3. But last year, but I know this: if we don't start turning it around, even with better wins, it's not going to be. It's not going to be a fresh or best air season. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, we'll see.
because I honestly feel like when when you're doing a job, because that's their job, right? But there's no success. It makes it a little bit harder for you to give your all.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Certain people we know we're not going to get rid of, right? So, Josh Allen, we know we're not going to get rid of him, right? Because he's a an intricate part of our team, right? But why should I fire off on hundreds? It's a team sport, right? I don't want to get injured. I don't want to hurt myself. I just don't want to do where we're not. The end result is still a L. You know what I mean?
Correct.
And then to me, even though we as fans, we get to a point, we're not there yet, but we get to a point where it's like, listen, don't kill yourself because the season's done. Like,
Yeah.
right now,
yeah.
y'all just playing because you still got to play to 18 games, but ain't, a win here, a touchdown here, we're happy, but it doesn't help us none, right?
Don't go out there
And
and
we
knock
don't want to
yourself
get into
out,
that
hurt
mindset.
yourself. Yeah, when you're not gonna, there's nothing in it. Still play the game, but be careful. Don't risk your body for something that's not gonna make a difference.
Right. So we don't want to get into that mindset. Granted, I know it's early, but you gotta remember, we say it's early. Oh, it's just the second week. It's just we're in week 7 now. We're almost getting 2-3 more games. We're half of the season.
You're right.
And you got to remember, 2 more games or whatever. Some of us, like the Eagles, this week is a bye week. So
Yeah.
that's an extra week just given. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So my question, okay, so let me ask you this then. And this has nothing about that. When the Bucks lost, people brought up the fact that Brady went to Robert Kraft's wedding on Friday. And some people
didn't go to practice.
didn't go to the walkthrough.
Mm-hmm.
Some people felt that how are you yelling at the defense? I mean, at the offensive line for not protecting you or not doing their job, but you wasn't there for the walkthrough. You went to a wedding instead. What's your take on that? I have my own opinion on it. But just to hear your take on it.
So look, I'm torn because as the GOAT, he might feel like, baby, I don't really need a walkthrough. Like, I got this. I need everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But as a team player, you got to work with the team.
Correct.
You get what I'm saying? And yes, it might be frustrating. You want to yell things, but where were you? Like when they get into these little press conference and it's a team effort, it starts with me, that bullshit shit that some people say. I don't want to hear that shit. Now, I do think that we're a little bit more lenient on people of higher caliber. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, Tom could have called it in his slate, blah, blah, blah. But let's be honest. I've said from the beginning, Frank, I said, the Bucks ain't the same team that we've been looking. I'm like, Tom looks, even before the Giselle about to leave him situation, I said, Tom don't look right. I thought he looked sickly.
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't look like his normal self. We just thought he was eating more avocado ice cream, but yeah.
Right. So I say this, like, let's be honest. We praise him because he's of an age and he's still playing. But as you get older, you have to do more. It is what it is, right? What I can do when I was in my young 20s, now my knees be like, no, bitch.
Yeah. No, yeah. Recovery time ain't the same when you're old.
It ain't the same.
I know.
So where I want to be leaning, like, come on, it's Tom Brady, but it's a team sport.
Yeah.
If the teams is doing this on Monday, Tom, you got to be there. You might not be putting 110 like everybody, but you being there is half the battle. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? Don't not show up for a walkthrough. But now it's fuck this thing, fucking this and fucking that. No, you can't do that. That's not fair.
That's where I agree with you. When they first brought it to my attention, I was like, man, hell nah, he don't got to do no walkthrough. He Tom Brady. He been playing for over 20 years. He knows. And the fact that he been at every other walkthrough and they still been struggling. I also feel that, we have this conversation at work. We feel like when you rank has its privileges, and when you've been around for a while, you have certain privileges that other people don't. But I do agree. Today's generation is not yesterday's generation. And a lot of these players are looking like, man, we out here doing our best, and you're yelling at us, and you wasn't here.
Right.
My issue with
And that's
Brady,
fair.
yeah, and that's fair. And my issue with Brady, and I'm a Brady fan, is, bro, if you're not 100% in the game, then you should have never came back.
Get out.
And once at the beginning of the season, they had a talk about this. They said that when players start thinking about retirement and they say retired and come back, or they think about it, their mind is not 100% there like it was when they were in it 100%. And and I sometimes you're like, man, but and they gave Brady that pass. Oh, but when he's in the game, he's in the game. Yeah, but I think sometimes it comes back to start thinking about it. And he said something on his podcast, where he compared playing football to being deployed like a military service member, not being around your kids. And I was like, man, that's stupid. It's not the same thing. And somebody at work that's not a Brady fan said, but it's relative to what he's dealing with. We leave our families, we spend time away from our families, we do deployments, we do duties, we do this, we do that, and we leave our people. If they're leaving their family as well, they're just getting paid more money for it. And our fallback to it, or our argument is, well, you're making $228,893 a day. If we was making that, and I did the math, in an 8-month deployment, you would have made $54 million. So to us that's doing that for thousands of dollars are thinking, shit, what you complaining about? But at the end of the day, it's relative to what he's got going on. Do you think that the Bucks could turn it around and still have a winning season?
So yes, I do think that, because 2 years ago, if you really look, they struggled in the beginning of the year. They ended up winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That year. I think so, but I think for that to happen right now, they need to have a powwow, and sort out, because losing to the Steelers with what the Steelers have sends a bigger message than when they lost to whoever else they have lost to. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, yeah. So my question to you after that is comparing the Packers and the Bucks, veteran quarterbacks, arguably two of the best quarterbacks of our time.
mm-hmm.
Who do you think has a better chance of turning it around?
The Bucks.
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair.
The
That's
Bucks.
fair. That's fair.
Again, like I said, losing to the Steelers since oh, come on, y'all. But the Packers, hold on, let me go to my thing. Because the Packers didn't win this week.
No, I mean the Jets went to their home and beat them like convincingly. It wasn't a last minute field goal. It wasn't a last minute. No, they beat them convincingly.
The Packers didn't win week 5. I don't know. They won week 6. I mean 3.
Well, June put this segment in here in honor of him not being here.
They beat the Bucks. I'm listening.
The segment is: are they or could they be? And the first one is Atlanta serious, Patriots serious, Steelers alive, Niners done, Jets serious, Jags done, and Denver done.
Fuck you.
So I'm gonna answer these and give you time to think about it. Do I think Atlanta could be serious? No, I don't think they could be. I think that they're doing better, and I think that with more time, maybe they will be better. And I don't think this season they're going to turn it around. The Patriots, I don't think they're serious. I think they're more being alive than anything because you still got Buffalo and Miami. Tua's coming back. If Tua plays better or just as good, then that division's pretty much locked up. Steelers, I think, are done. They're not alive. The Niners are not done. I think they're alive as well. I want to say the Jets could be serious. I think they could be serious. I don't think the Jags are done because I think the division is pretty open, and I think that they can still. I just think that Doug Peterson has to look. We have 6 weeks of tape. We're going into our 7th week or 8th week, whatever it is.
7.
7th week. So they have stuff to look at. What worked, what didn't, what we're good at, what's our strength, what's our weaknesses, what do we need to improve in? I think they'll turn around. I think Denver's done. I think Russ is
Put a fork in them.
Yeah, I think, and it's sad because now, what's your take on what I said or what he asked?
Okay, so wait, give me the first team.
So, are they or could they be Atlanta serious?
Okay, hold on. All right, so Atlanta right now is second in the division, but I can't see. Sorry, I got to, because I don't be knowing. I'm trying to see who's in their division.
Oh, Bucks, Saints, and them.
No, you're missing one.
Yeah, I am missing one. Atlanta. No, Atlanta, Bucks, Saints, and Panthers. Carolina. I think Carolina's done. So I mean,
yeah. So you got to think about it. I think the Steelers are. I just don't see the Steelers right now. I thought that after this game with the Bucks, prior to the game, I was like, once they lose, I didn't really feel like they were going to find a way to come around. Now they won, but I'm about to look at their schedule. I think Steelers are done. I don't think the Panthers ever picked up, and then you got the Bucks and Falcons.
The Saints. You mean the Saints? Because Steelers are not in the division.
Oh, you just said Steelers. Sorry. So you said the Saints,
Saints, Panthers, Bucks, and Falcons.
Okay, sorry. So I don't know. I think the Falcons are still in it because the Saints are still suspect.
So are they serious or are they alive?
I don't think they're alive yet, but I don't think they're full blown serious. So if I had to pick, I'd rather pick serious than alive.
Then alive, like
You said alive or
alive.
alive?
No, alive, like living.
Oh,
Like you're alive.
yeah. So are they alive or they're a serious?
Yep.
So I think they're alive.
Okay. So I think the better word for that be contenders or contending.
Okay, so all right, you want to use contenders or not contenders?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's keep it simple.
Um, so in the division, I still think they're contenders. The reason why is I don't think personally I don't think the Panthers are. I think that I think it'll be between them and the Saints. I personally don't think the Saints are, but they're not full blown dead yet.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And the Bucks are struggling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's pretty much an open. If I had to pick the two teams that I might, it would have to be against the Bucks and the Falcons. And not saying the Falcons are all the way there, but I just think the other two aren't.
I tell you what, I think the Bucks are surviving.
Yeah, right now, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
So I would say, yeah.
right now, yeah, they have to be. Yeah, they have to be contenders because they're surviving. Falcons is second in the division with well, let's see their wins. Two, what was it? Falcons 3-3.
Yeah. The only difference between them and the Bucks is the Bucks beat them, so they have the tiebreaker.
Right. Okay. So I think they're contenders right now. Next team.
So he had Atlanta, then the Patriots.
Okay, so I think Pats right now, so we want to say contenders, right? Well, who's everybody in their division?
You have the Jets, the Dolphins, and Buffalo, and then the Patriots.
Ooh,
And I think they're last in the division because
they gotta be. Because listen, the Jets are doing well, the Bills are doing well. And what's the other team?
Dolphins.
Dolphins took a hit, but two is supposed to be back.
So right now, the Patriots are last. So in the division, Buffalo's 5-1. Jets are 4-2. Miami's 3-3, and so is New England 3-3. But the difference is that in the conference, New England's 2-2, Miami's 3-2, Jets is 3-2, and Buffalo's 4-1. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Division is what matters. My bad. I'm thinking. So in the division, Buffalo's 0-1, Jets are 1-0, Miami's 2-1, and New England's 0-1, which was to the Dolphins.
Yeah. So are they contenders? I have to say the division, nobody's besides the Bill, nobody's too far off with the wins, right? I also think that the Pats found a way these last couple of weeks to pull out wins, where maybe where you would have thought they didn't have a way. So they're still alive. They're still contenders. It's too close of a race with all four teams to throw one team and say that they can't be.
What about the Steelers?
Right. So they're alive. They're contenders.
Alive?
Steelers is dead.
Okay. What about the Niners?
Okay. Who in their division?
So you got let me look it up. Hold on. And the Niners have in the West, they have the Rams.
And they're first in their division right now.
Yeah, so Seahawks, Rams, and Arizona, and then you have 49ers. But they're only so they have the same record as the Rams. The difference is, well, they're 2-0 in the division, so they're undefeated in the division.
Yeah. So with that, you got to say they are right.
Okay.
You can't knock them. I think with the 49ers, if you want to be honest, that division right now, and I don't want to say they're struggling. Nobody really know what's going on with the Rams. Honestly, the Rams ain't nothing.
I mean, if anything, Stafford has reverted back to his
his Lions was
days.
he his Lions way, right?
Days, yep.
So 49ers ain't they not in the woods yet. They all right.
All right. So what about the Jets?
Oh, come on now. The Jets right now to me. But the difference with the Jets and the Giants is, remember I said the Giants, they find ways to thing. Jets are blowing out teams that you never even thought. You like, how do you spell Jets again? J-E.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then at the end, you like, fuck that J-E-T-S,
No,
right? You know how to spell that name. So they're real. They're contenders.
And what about your team, the Jags? Are they done, contenders, or serious?
I don't think we're done. I can't really say we're contenders. And I might be critical on my team, right?
You should be.
I
You should be.
I think we can be, but the way that we're playing, shit, we I don't think we're done. I tell you that I don't think we're done, but I don't really think we're real contenders, and I don't feel like we're being serious.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. And the last team, the Denver Broncos.
Oh my gosh, they're overcooked. Done. Stick a fork in them. Throw them in the trash. Done.
I think they're done too as well. I don't think they turn around. So, well, I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick. While we do that, get the picks ready. Let's knock that out. And
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, I'll be right back. Be right back.
America, let me be honest with you, America, real quick. I am low key really sad for Russell. I'm sad for him because even if y'all watch the game on whatever day it was, he was even some of his throws were underthrown. It's like, come on, bro, Russ. Like I always say, back when you was with the Seahawks, we like if you put the game in Russ' hand, he's gonna find a way to make it happen. You literally can't really say that right now. And it's very disappointing. Because it's Russ. The way he played on Monday night, I don't know. I just don't know. Because they had a chance then. But listen, let's be honest. They're struggling. But so is the Chargers. Because the Chargers didn't really play undeniably great. Let's be honest.
So, okay, so now let's stick with Russ for a second since you brought it up.
I mean, I was talking to America, but okay.
No, but you brought it up and it's good. A lot of debate has it hurt his legacy? Has his legacy taken a hit?
Yes.
Some people say no because he still got the Super Bowl win. He still was doing great. He's just struggling right now on a new team. The problem is we never seen him struggle like this before. So now we start wondering, was it Marshawn Lynch that made him great? Was that defense that made him great? You know, he has great play. I think he has decent weapons in Denver. I think that the defense is pretty decent. You know, so it hurts to see him like this. It does. And I hope he can turn it around. But now he's getting injured, hamstring injury, all this other stuff. So now are you going to be, you're not even 100% and you're not even halfway through the season. So I just think.
Besides not even being halfway through the season, he's struggling. It would have been okay, like if you getting hurt, but you still finding, and I don't want to say you still find a way pulling out wins. Like I want you to find wins while being hurt, but even with the struggle, he's not coming out on top.
Correct.
It makes it worse.
No. Correct.
You know what I'm saying? I really feel bad because everybody that know I am a big Lamar fan and I am a big Russell fan. Mm-hmm. And shit, let's be honest, they both let me down. I don't know. And like I was just telling America, it's like, okay, Russ is losing, but he's underthrowing balls. He like doing stuff really out of character. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I think he's not.
I don't know.
I don't think he's being himself, and I think he's in his head. I think a lot of these players, they get in their head. Some players their weakness is themselves, and once they get in their heads, they can't get out of it. You brought up the Chargers. Chargers are struggling real bad too.
Yeah, they're struggling. That's what I said. Like, yeah, they might have won, but it wasn't like it was.
It wasn't like a blowout.
No,
and we don't know what's going on. A lot of people had more expectations for Josh Herbert, so including myself. And I know he don't have his number one weapon, Keenan Allen, but damn, you're not even playing great. So I think Russ can figure it out. It might not be this season though. It might be next season. This season might be a wrap. And I hope that maybe next season he'll focus more and team up with his guys more and get some consistency going there. But like they said on Speak, they didn't hire him for 1 year. They gave him a 5-year contract.
Yeah.
He's there. So let's not take too much credit away. Let's see what he does. I mean, this is his first year. Not everybody can win a Super Bowl their first year on a team like Stafford and Brady, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you just got to and then you got to think for them, for both teams, things fell the way they were supposed to fall. You know, they luck and chance had a lot to do with all that. So um, you know, against the Bucks, the Rams got Cooper Cup got open. He shouldn't have been that open.
Mm-hmm.
Against the 49ers, the corner drops a for sure interception that would have ended the game. And he drops it, you know. Maybe trying to be too fancy, maybe whatever, but it just luck and chance happens, you know, and you win games. And you know,
Right.
so all right, well, let's go with these picks then.
All right. So tomorrow night, first game is Saints at Cardinals.
I'm gonna go Cardinals at home.
Both teams are 2-4.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna go Cardinals. All right, Sunday night, Browns at Ravens.
I'm gonna go Ravens.
Yeah, you got no choice but to go Ravens. Buccaneers at Panthers.
Bucks.
Yeah, I think it's funny because Panthers is 1-5.
Yeah, I think that, but also they put something about ESPN where the offensive line did something and was showing. I don't know what they did. I didn't get a chance to look at it, but I don't know. I think they'll figure it out. I think they'll pull it out.
Falcons at Bengals.
You said, Bengals, Burrow.
I put Bengals as well. Lions at Cowboys.
I'm going Cowboys.
Yeah, this is Dak for first week back.
Yep.
Giants at Jags. Okay.
So I want to go. Sun says go Giants, but then Sun's telling me go Jags, and I don't know, man. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I'm gonna go Jags at home. I'm gonna give the home team the benefit of the doubt.
I don't want to hear you. I'm never picking the
Oh,
Jags.
you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear it. And Sunday I should be recovering from a khaki ball hangover. So if I'm yelling, you know it's bad.
I went Jags, of course. Packers at Commanders.
Run Packers.
I'm going Packers because they've lost to even worse, so they got no choice. All right, this one's a good one. Colts at Titans.
Yeah, that is a good one. I'm gonna go Titans.
I was about to say I'm going Titans.
Yeah, I'm going Titans at home.
Right now, the Titans won, Colts are 2, just because the Colts tied, but they both got 3-2.
Yeah.
But I think the Titans has already beaten the Colts this year. All right, next game. Texans at Raiders.
Raiders.
I'm going Raiders. Jets at Broncos.
Jets.
You're not going to home team?
Nah. Look, I'm done. If I got Russell in my fantasy, I'm trying to drop him, pick somebody else up. At this point, I'll pick Geno Smith.
Anyway, Chiefs at Niners.
That's another one. I don't see Chiefs losing 2 games back to back.
Yeah, it's Chiefs.
I'm gonna go Chiefs, but damn, Niners losing 2 games back to back. That's something different. But this will be a Super Bowl rematch.
I am going Chiefs. Uh, Seahawks at Chargers.
Damn. I'm going Chargers.
Okay.
Chargers at
I'm,
home.
I'm going Seahawks. I think Chargers for me right now are suspecty. Steelers at Dolphins.
See, now this, if Tua's playing,
Yes,
I'm going to go Dolphins.
Tua's playing. I too am going Dolphins. Even Tua wasn't playing, I was going to go with Dolphins. So that was Sunday night, and then Monday is Bears at Pats.
I'm going Patriots.
Yeah, I'm going Pats.
In Foxborough? Yes.
That's our pick for week 8.
Well, it's another episode. Another
So
week.
who's getting their bye? Eagles got their bye. Who else getting the bye?
Bills got the bye.
Oh, okay. Yep, we didn't say Bills.
It hurt my whole fantasy right now. I had to find players that I don't even want, that I had to drop and pick up. So, but not another great week, another lot of stuff. Again, situational football is something that's big and is real. Thank you for listening. Subscribe, share, like, comment, all the good stuff. Nick.
Bye.